Hi there. This is my first YouTube video. I don't normally do videos for YouTube, but I figured today I'd built something that I think maybe it's the first time it's been built. Maybe it's not, I don't know, but I'd figured I'd show you anyway. Um, Obviously, what you're looking at is a gate. It doesn't sort of swing open, it slides open. I'll show you that in operation. If we just come over here, just wire it up to a couple of switches. There you can see the gate just sort of sliding open. I'll show you how to build it, or how it works. Basically, on either side it has what I tend to call a worm drive or a caterpillar drive. The whole setup basically revolves around two pistons that push-pull each other. I got the idea from another YouTube user. I can't remember his name, but I'll put it in my description when I find it. He built sort of a piston train where he had, it's pretty similar to what I've built here. He had two pistons just on top of a bunch of redstone torches, and as it gets turned on and off, he has a heap of repeaters on the side that sort of delay the signal and allow the pistons to sort of push themselves along. So I'll show you that in operation. So you can sort of see the pistons just sort of move along. It's slowly, but you can put a bunch of blocks on the end of that and it'll push all the blocks along. That's essentially how this gate works. I used a heap of gate blocks in the middle, and the gate blocks are all in the open section, so that allows you to basically walk through it without any problems. It also blocks water and other things, so you can put it underwater if you wanted to. There used to be another type of block you could put in there that was sort of invisible. You could make it glitch out, but they've sort of fixed that in the latest Minecraft, so I can't do that anymore. But if you come over here, you'll see the inner workings. A little bit more complex, obviously, because I've got 5 pistons vertically mounted, so it's a little bit harder, but it starts over here with a piston clock that at the moment is set to 4 ticks, so 4 ticks on and 4 ticks off. You could in theory run it quicker, but it would burn the redstone torches out, but if you could figure out a way to get rid of the redstone torches out of the configuration, you could probably run it quicker, but at the moment 4 ticks is fine. It then sends the power through this sort of grid, which basically divides the power up and delays it per lane. It starts, the first 2 lanes get power at the same time, and then because of the repeaters over here, the next 2 lanes are delayed by 4 ticks, and then the next 2 by another 4 ticks, and so on and so forth. And then on top of that, each 2 lanes have another repeater, or have a couple of repeaters. Basically, the idea of all the repeaters here is to stop the redstone just linking up, and actually make it so the redstone and the repeaters push the power into the individual blocks as they go. But the timings on the repeaters is different, so you'll see here I've got 2 repeaters that are on 1 tick each, so all up that makes 2, and this one's set to 4, so you have a 2 tick delay here, then a 4 tick delay, which basically is what gives you your 2 tick separation between each lane. And then obviously the next 2 are 4 seconds behind, 4 ticks behind them again, and that's how the system does its pulsing. I'll show you that in operation in a second once I've showed the rest of this. So then what happens with the power is it gets put into these blocks here, which have all the torches on them, so that's what switches the torches off and then on and then off again. Obviously with the torches being above each other like this, they sort of, one will turn the other off, and that's how you basically get the power to go up vertically. And because of the way the repeaters work, when they put the power into the top piston, it'll power the piston below it as well. So that's how you get this 1 block gap, which gives you the room to put the torches and the repeaters. So basically if I turn it on, you'll see the pulsing sort of way it pulses and runs through with the delay, which is, you need the delay to get the pistons to switch on and off, because basically for a piston to do anything it needs 2 ticks. You can get a normal piston work on 1 tick, but it's the sticky piston which won't work on 1 tick. It needs 1 tick to push out, and then the second tick to basically grab onto the block and then pull it back. So you need a 2 tick delay all the time. And you might notice that I've only got a gate that's 4 blocks wide. That's because a piston can only push 12 blocks, and seeing as this is a piston here that does the pushing, it's got to push the piston in front of it plus 4 gate blocks, 4 closed blocks, and then another 2 pistons, which comes in as pretty close to the limit as 11 blocks, and basically we put another wood row of blocks in there to sort of make it look nice when it's open. That's 12 blocks all up, so you couldn't go anymore. If you went 5, it would have 13 blocks in front of it, so it couldn't actually push that. Another design that I want to build later on, unless someone does it, is to have this entire worm or caterpillar drive mounted down that way, running along the gate, and to have sort of like on a corner to have a couple of pistons basically push the blocks towards this array, or when the gate is closing to push the blocks towards the other array. So that would work. That would allow you to get a gate that would, I guess, would be about 11. I think you could have 11 wide, but I might build that later. Now, the last part of the problem with this gate is, although you can get it to open perfectly fine using what I was showing you before, you need a way to turn all the torches off, because some of the torches would obviously be left on, which would leave some of the pistons on, and if the piston's on, you can't push against it with another piston. So that's why I've got all this setup on the wood here, you see, that starts over here. When the power is switched off, it allows this torch to turn on, which then powers up this entire grid and just leaves it on, and then powers up everything you see here on the torches. That because the repeaters puts the power into the blocks, switches off all these torches, and that's how the pistons get turned off. And then, of course, obviously, you've got the same array over here, which then that's used for opening, and that one's used for closing. You might also notice, obviously, that these two rows here are actually obsolete. That's because when I was building, I really didn't have much of an idea how it was going to work. So, but it only actually needs 5 to work properly. But yeah, so if someone's needing a gate that sort of slides open, I don't know, for a castle or underwater submarine pen, whatever they're building, it might be helpful. If you have any questions about how the thing works or anything that I've missed, feel free to ask, and I'll see if I can help you out. So yeah, I hope that helps somebody. Have fun.